Vroom, vroom. This is the Ferrari that me and Suzie are going to take to Italy to go and do a rally. In fact, we're probably doing 2 rallies in Italy in it. It's a really good car. She spent a load of money having people look at it, but she said to me, give it a look over, Ivan. And she said, well, you're probably going to drive it, I'm going to drive it. Let's try and make sure it's as good as we can make it. So me and John have spent a couple of days on it. We've made the throttle linkage work better. Before it was very, you know, you had to sort of really struggle to get it off from the lights. But anyway, we've done that, altered the angle of the levers, and it's transformed it. So that's good. We had a good look round it, and we put on an emergency electric fan because it's reckoned in Italy it's going to be very hot. I don't think it'd be necessary because you can't get it hot here. You know, no matter how hard you drive it, it's lovely. So that's that. And we had a look at the shockers at the back. The shockers were a bit stiff, so we've slackened them off and got tyre pressures, and we really had a good look at it. But anyway, the back axle was lovely. You put your foot down, no problem at all. But when you were really going and you lifted your foot off, you could hear the back axle make a bit of a noise. So obviously, in my opinion, the pinion is, when you lift off, is pushing itself into gear and making the axle noisy. So really, although the axle's not terrible, if you could move the pinion back 25 thou, it might make a difference. Well, obviously, you've got to take the whole thing to pieces. And I was laying in bed thinking about it, and I thought, well, hang on a minute. It's an aluminium back axle, and I've had the back axle bits on my car, and the whole pinion, bearings, everything are in a steel housing. Now, if you could loosen the bolts off and move the steel housing back 25 thou, you never know, it might make a difference. So anyway, that's what we've done. So if you come over here, I'll show you on the axle what we've done. So what we've done, this housing here is the steel housing. So John's loosened the bolts off all the way around there. And then we've got a sharp chisel in there, and we've moved this steel housing forward. Now, we moved it forward about 25 thou, and it's definitely made it better. But you know what it's like, when you make it a bit better, let's try a little bit more and see if it makes it even better, better. Anyway, so that's what we've done. So we've now doubled up on the thickness, which I think would be too much, but we'll try it. And if it works, obviously we'll have to make a proper shim the axle properly, and make sure it don't leak, obviously. But, you know, rather than taking the whole axle out, and to be honest, when it's on the bench, you can do all the clever stuff, and you can still have a noisy axle. I mean, when I used to do them for the Bugatti, I could spin them with my hand, and I could tell whether they were going to be any good or not, but I did lots of them. But anyway, we'll give that a try, because if it works, it's the tweak of the week, isn't it? And the tweak of the week is a famous saying of, his name's gone out of my head, but I'm sure we'll fit it in at some stage. But anyway, we're going to now try it again, and then if it works, we'll do something about it. If it's too noisy, we'll go back to the 25 thou and see how we go. But as you can see, it's a lovely car. You know, it's all absolutely beautiful. But it had a sticky throttle because the lever arms were sort of facing the wrong way, and you had to flip them over, so I've moved them all up, and that's transformed it. But it's like a brand new car. Her dad did it all. I think I've rung the bell. I don't know about you, but I think going to Italy in this and on a rally will be absolutely the best video we've ever seen, I think, and the best time I've ever had. pull it down. The thing is with these old Ferraris, they have a really thick oil in the back axle, so it's no good of, you know, altering it, driving it 100 yards. I'm going to have to drive it a little while because you want to make sure the oil's really hot and obviously listen to it carefully. But I think this will be the ultimate, and if this don't work, we'll go back to 25,000, do a proper job, and that's it. Right, so we're now trying it out with, like, I would say 40 thou shims in the back axle. And we'll see how it feels. It only made a noise on the overrun. I reckon the pinion was pulling itself into gear. Just that little bit too much. So it's quite a tweak. If it works, it's a real good tweak. Willie Griffiths was the man who used to use Tweak of the Week, and he was chief mechanic at Lotus when they went racing, you know, in the early 50s or the mid 50s, I think. And I knew old Willie because I worked with him. And, you know, if we did something clever like this, he would call it the Tweak of the Week. We're not going down the drive because there's puddles and this is like brand new underneath, and I don't want to make it all dirty. But I think we'll have a bit of fun in Italy. They'll love this, won't they? When you're driving, it's amazing. People look at you as if you're bloody a spaceman arriving. But I suppose when you think a California Spyder's worth millions and millions of pounds. This car used to be a Tour de France, not a Tour de France, a Pininfarina Coupe, which is exactly the same chassis as a California Spyder. What a noise, eh? People say, has it got a radio? You say, what do you want a radio for? When you've got a soundtrack like that. Being left-hand drive, it's a bit difficult going through the village because you can't see anybody coming that way. So I get on the wrong side of the road and I can see that no one's coming. But it will bumble along in top. Look, that's top. It's got overdrive as well, of course. Got overdrive, and that is noisier than it's ever been. So where we had it first of all was the best. Listen to that. Lovely day, the sun is shining. Magic. Sun is shining, driving around in a California Spyder. Not bad, really. Nice when it stops. Right, so the tweak of the week has worked fine. We tried a 20 thou in there. We thought, well, we won't worry about the oil running out. We just put 20 thou all the way around it, little bits like that, and it definitely improved it. It's definitely better. When you lift your foot off, it still makes a little bit of a noise, but then they always do. But it's definitely better. So then, of course, we thought, well, let's double it up and see what happened. So we put another 20 thou in, so that was 40 thou. It was howling. So instantly, can't have that. So anyway, we've gone back to the 20 thou. So we undid it, pulled it right out, made segments up, put it all back together, put a squirt of tiger seal around it, and tightened it all up. So I'm hoping, well, I'm not hoping, I know it's going to work, because I know it's quieter. And it doesn't affect it on the drive. That's just as quiet as it ever was. So I think that's a good move. So that's the first step of doing the axle. As it happens, I spoke to Suzie about making a video, and she says, well, we could make a video. So we're going to make a serious video about this car and going on the trip to Italy. Really, I would say to raise the car's profile. But anyway, we'll see.